Yesterday, a man was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for counts including assault causing serious harm and violent disorder. The last 2 years of the sentence was suspended based on certain fairly strict conditions. The man, Josh Cummins, 19, pleaded guilty before the Dublin Circuit Court to intentionally or recklessly causing serious harm to Alanna Quinn Idris on December 30th of 2021. He is the second individual to be sentenced for that egregious attack. And in response to it, Alanna Quinn Idris said that she thought the sentence was disappointing. She said, "I appreciate what the judge has done for me," but added, "I feel kind of let down. Every day of the rest of my life," she says, "she will be reminded of this." She's with us this morning. Good morning, Alanna.
Hi, good morning.
Alanna, do you remember the assault itself? Have you a recollection of it?
Most of it, yeah, I do, yeah.
And can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, so the assault itself, basically, like, it was, me and my, ex-partner, I'll say, we, saw four boys come from two opposite directions, and then one of them came over to us, and was just screaming and shouting and stuff. And I go over and got between him and my ex, and he ended up punching me in the face. And then obviously they start fighting and stuff, and then the three other fellas come over. And then all I remember then from that is getting up and then seeing them on him and trying to get them off. And then that's all I can remember. I was gone then from that.
What's the next thing that you can remember after that?
I just remember waking up, like, all these people around me. I remember my one of my friends screaming in my ear, like because we were right outside her house, screaming for me to like unlock my phone so she could get my mom and stuff. And I just remember like sitting there screaming, like, my face, because I could feel. Obviously I could see there was blood everywhere. I was vomiting everywhere. I was like in and out of consciousness. Like, I remember loads of people trying to keep me awake. And I could just like feel like my face was so swollen already. And then across from me then I could see my ex, and he was covered in blood like running down from his head because they had split his head open. And I was just crying for him, and just I was just in hysterics, really.
You were then taken to hospital and from there to the Ioneer for emergency services, or for emergency surgery rather. What were the injuries when they got you to hospital? What did they find?
They found my orbital bone. I don't know if I'm using the right words, sorry. Just my eye socket basically was completely fractured. My eye had been pushed so far back into my head. I had what's the word? Sorry. Ruptured. What's the thing? My retina. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my retina was completely detached, and yeah, just like a complete ruptured eyeball.
And a broken cheekbone and teeth missing as well.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I had cracks then in my sinuses. My cheekbone was fractured as well, and then I had so like I was in the hospital bed, and I remember a nurse was giving me medication, and I went to put it in, and a piece of my tooth just like completely came out, like.
And at what point did you come to understand that you were unlikely to be able to see again from that eye?
I didn't. What? It's weird to say. But the only thing I kept thinking of, because at that point I didn't know I was hit with with the bike saddle. I didn't know I was hit with an object, like. So I kept like, I remember I was in the hospital and I was looking up the whole Rihanna and Chris Brown situation, because I remember she had like a ruptured eye socket or something like that, something similar I remember from reading. So I kind of had hope. I was like, oh no, like, it's not as bad as I think it is. But like, kind of all the doctors were really like, kind of like, oh, like they were kind of scared to tell me the truth. And I just remember then kind of realizing, oh, like this isn't gonna get any better. And then I remember I was left alone in the room. I was getting checked by one of the doctors, and she went to go do something, and I got up and I looked in the mirror, and I was so swollen that I had to like open it with my hand. And I remember opening it, and it was just, it wasn't an eye, like, it was just like carnage, like. So that's when I realised I broke down to me man all, and that's when I realised that I wasn't gonna be fixed.
That's almost exactly 2 years ago. It was December 30th of 2021 that it happened.
Hmm.
What's it like now? What's the impact that this has on you day to day?
Well, obviously with the blindness, I don't want to say I'm completely used to it, because there's times where like I don't have depth perception like at all, so I have to be really careful with stairs and stuff, and just like my kind of spatial awareness. Um, I really struggle going outside with the sun and stuff, like bright lights. I just like it really, like, obviously nobody can look at the sun or anything like that, but if I look at anything like bright, I just can't see at all. And then like with my hip and stuff, because I've had a bone graft and a fat graft for my hip, so that's kind of another struggle as well, like trying to get, I don't want to say get the strength back up, because it's not as bad um as it could be, like, but it's pain, another just added pain, like, and stuff. And then I have like a lot of pressure in my head, so like if I wanted to, like, say, clean my house or clean my room or even bend down and tie my shoelaces, like I can't, like I'm not allowed to like bend down, because I can feel all the pressure built up in my head, and it's like my head is gonna explode. So it's just there's a lot of physical things to it, and as well, like, on top of that, like, sorry, can I just ask what the question was again, because I'm gonna ramble now.
No,
I
not at
don't
all. I
want to.
was asking what it was like now, and you were describing the sort of the physical impact. I suppose the other side of it, and I
Yeah,
think it was where you were heading, was the emotional side of it. What's the impact on your psychology?
yeah. Well, I did struggle with my mental health before this, but this kind of just really set it off, like, on a whole different kind of course. Like, it's um just kind of knowing that, like, I walk around with, like, I don't want to say shame, because I'm not ashamed of myself. Um, but like I am walking around with, like, I don't know, like it's hard to explain. Like, obviously everyone can see it. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I can hide or try to hide at all. So I'm kind of walking around with just like this thing on my face that it's just that, like, psychologically it's just like it's hard, like, because I just, like, I would do anything to just be normal again. Like, it's just like that's like the one thing I would just love. It's just to wake up one day and just like be normal, and nobody like know me, or like nobody see this on my face and then ask about it or anything like that. And then, like, as well, with that's like with other people, but then with myself, like, it's just waking up every day and seeing that, like, this on my face, and then like that just, it brings me back every time. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I look and I can associate with anything else. Like, it's associated directly with the attack and everything. So it's just, that's hard.
Was there any satisfaction is the wrong word, but relief? Was there was seeing one of the men who did this to you get sentenced yesterday? Did that bring any relief? Did that help?
Not really. Like, yes and no. Like, it did, because like he deserves obviously to be locked up. Like, and I do have that bit of satisfaction that he knows now. Do you know, like, there was consequences to what you've done to me. Like, but at the same time, um, like, there's so many other people out there. Like, sorry, in, like, I don't know. There's just, it's it's more so difficult because the person who did directly cause the damage to my eye hasn't been named or anything. So knowing that the people who have been locked up, they're locked up, but they know who that was, it's just a hologram head wreck, like, to be honest.
What have
Like,
the doctors said about the physical condition, the physical impact? Will the kind of things that you talked about, like the pain in your head when you bend over,
mhm.
the damage to the eye, will any of that improve, or is that the way life is now?
It is just the way life is now. I had a follow up appointment there a few, like, last week, I think it was, and I had said to the consultant, I was like, oh, like, I know, like, before I had like a lot of, there was a lot of pressure in my head and stuff, and I wasn't allowed to bend down and everything. But now I was kind of getting like kind of headachy pains. It was only freshly after the surgery, so obviously that was expected. Like, and I said to her, I goes, oh, is there anything like any explanation for that, really. Like, kind of, and she was just like, it's just because of how much stuff they've had to put into my face and into my head to, try and make me normal again, that it's nothing that they can really do about it. It's just like kind of what you have to deal with if I want to be normal again.
And do you mind me asking, Alanna, in talking to you, you are handling all of this in a way that sounds terribly practical and very philosophical. Are you not filled with anger? Not filled with hate after this?
I am. I actually am. If you spoke to any of my friends, I am a very like hot-headed kind of person, but at the same time, I always have stood by the fact that I feel like everybody should be able to speak about anything logically and without bringing emotion into it. I do have a lot of emotion behind this, and I do kind of fear then that people are going to think, oh, like she doesn't really, it doesn't really hurt her that much, like, and everything. Like, I've had comments on like my social media and stuff. It's like, how can you, sorry, sorry, I'm just getting another call there. I'm just trying to decline it. Sorry, yeah, I would have comments on my social media and stuff of people saying, how can she talk so normally about it and be so positive, but then go to courts and cry and read an impact statement? And I'm like, you do understand that this is something that it has emotionally affected me. Of course, it's like I was almost killed. This is something that like could have ruined my life, but at the same time, I can't let that ruin the rest of my life. I still have the rest of my life to live, and as a mature person, I feel like everybody should be able to speak about anything just with the facts of it and not just make it emotional, I think. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of texts in support for you, Alanna, saying things like, my best wishes with Alanna. She is a brave woman for speaking out. She's fantastic. What a wonderful, brave girl, says another. Best wishes to Alanna, a very brave woman, and a lot along those lines. Alanna, thank you very much for taking the time to join us this morning.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Alanna. That is Alanna Quinn Idris, and as I say, one of the men in the assault on her, that being Josh Cummins, 17 at the time, sentenced to 5 years with 2 years suspended.